I want you to listen to my voice very carefully. Forget what's happening on your screen for a moment and give me your full attention, because what I'm about to tell you in this video will make you feel uncomfortable. It might even create a sense of fear about crypto, about money, and about the decisions you've made so far. And that's exactly why you need to hear it. If you're smart, you'll watch this entire video without skipping. But if you skip, if you ignore this, you might miss something that could actually impact your financial future in a very real way. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they ignore what matters. So for the next few minutes, just focus on my voice, because we're about to answer one of the biggest financial questions in the United States right now. Is crypto dead, or is it about to come back and create another wave of wealth? Right now, millions of people across the US are searching this exact question. Investors, beginners, people who lost money, and people who are still waiting on the sidelines. And the reason this question is trending is simple: uncertainty. The crypto market has gone through massive ups and downs. People have seen $10,000 turn into $2,000. Others have seen small investments explode into life-changing money. And this emotional roller coaster creates confusion. Some people think crypto is finished forever. Others believe it's just getting started again. And in the middle of all this noise, the average person doesn't know what to believe. Let's be clear about one thing. Crypto is not dead, but the way people used to make easy money in crypto, that phase is over. The days when you could randomly invest $100 into a coin and turn it into $10,000 overnight are mostly gone. The market has matured. It's more competitive, more controlled, and more influenced by big money than ever before. And this is where most people get it wrong. They enter the market with old expectations, expecting fast, easy profits. And when that doesn't happen, they assume crypto is dead. But in reality, the game has just changed. In 2026, crypto is no longer just a trend. It's becoming part of the global financial system. Large financial institutions are entering the space. Hedge funds are allocating billions of dollars. Governments are creating regulations, not banning crypto, but trying to control and integrate it. And whenever institutions enter a market, one thing becomes very clear. The opportunity doesn't disappear. It just becomes more strategic. The easy money disappears, but the smart money grows. Now let's talk about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the center of this entire conversation. Bitcoin is not just another cryptocurrency. It is the foundation of the crypto market. When Bitcoin moves, the entire market follows. And despite all the fear, all the negative headlines, Bitcoin is still holding strong compared to its past cycles. This alone tells you something important. The market is not collapsing. It's stabilizing before its next major move. One of the most important concepts you need to understand is supply and demand. Bitcoin has a fixed supply of 21 million coins. That's it. No more can ever be created. At the same time, more people, companies, and institutions are becoming interested in owning Bitcoin as a digital asset. When supply is limited and demand increases, the price tends to rise over time. This is basic economics, but most people ignore it because they're too focused on short-term price movements. And this is where fear becomes dangerous. When prices drop, people panic. They sell at a loss, thinking the market is crashing forever. But experienced investors see these moments differently. They see lower prices as opportunities. They don't follow emotions, they follow strategy. And this is the difference between people who build wealth and people who lose money. Let's talk about something that most YouTube videos won't tell you. High-income investors, people who generate over $100,000 per year, don't look at crypto as a gamble. They treat it as a long-term investment strategy. They diversify. They manage risk. They don't put all their money into one coin hoping for a miracle. And this is why they survive market crashes while beginners get wiped out. Another factor you need to understand is market cycles. Crypto moves in cycles: accumulation, expansion, peak, and correction. Right now, in 2026, we are likely in the transition phase between correction and accumulation. This is the phase where prices are relatively stable, interest is low, and most people are distracted by other things. But historically, this phase has always been followed by a new expansion cycle. Think about it like this. In 2018, after a major crash, people said crypto was over. In 2020, it exploded. In 2022, people lost confidence again. And then the market showed signs of recovery. The pattern is clear. Fear creates opportunity, but only for those who are paying attention. Now let's bring this back to you, because this video is not just about crypto. It's about your decisions. If crypto does come back, and history suggests that it might, will you be ready? Or will you be one of those people who wait until Bitcoin is back at $60,000 or $70,000 before paying attention again? Because that's what most people do. They ignore the market when it's quiet and only show up when it's already too late. This is where FOMO, the fear of missing out, becomes powerful. Not the emotional kind that makes you chase hype, but the logical kind that makes you prepare early. Smart investors don't wait for confirmation. They position themselves before the crowd arrives. They understand that by the time something becomes obvious, the biggest gains have already been made. But let's not ignore the risks. Crypto is still volatile. Prices can drop suddenly. Regulations can impact the market. Scams still exist. And if you enter without knowledge, you can lose money quickly. This is why education is more important than ever. You need to understand what you're investing in. You need to think long term. And most importantly, you need to control your emotions. Because in crypto, emotions are expensive. Fear will make you sell too early. Greed will make you buy too late. And if you don't manage both, you will repeat the same mistakes over and over again. This is why discipline separates successful investors from everyone else. Another important trend in 2026 is the integration of crypto with real-world finance, payment systems, online businesses, and even some traditional banks are starting to adopt crypto-related services. This increases the legitimacy of the market. It also increases the long-term potential, because once something becomes part of everyday financial systems, it becomes much harder to eliminate. So when people ask, is crypto dead? What they're really asking is the opportunity gone? And the honest answer is no. The opportunity is not gone. It's just different. It requires more patience, more knowledge, and more discipline than before. Now imagine this scenario. Bitcoin starts rising again, slowly at first, then faster. Media starts talking about it. YouTube videos start trending. People around you start mentioning crypto again. And suddenly, everyone wants to invest. At that point, the question is not whether crypto is coming back. The question is whether you position yourself early enough to benefit from it. Because if you wait for that moment, you're not early, you're late. And being late in crypto is expensive. That's when people buy at high prices, get excited, and then panic when the market corrects again. This cycle repeats over and over, and most people never learn from it. So here's the truth. Crypto is not dead, but easy money is. The market has evolved, the players have changed, and the strategies that worked in the past may not work the same way in the future. But for those who adapt, for those who learn, and for those who stay patient, the opportunity is still there. This is not financial advice. This is awareness, because at the end of the day, no one can predict the market with 100% certainty. But patterns exist, behavior repeats, and if you understand how the market works, you give yourself a better chance of making smarter decisions. So don't just ask whether crypto is coming back. Ask yourself whether you're ready if it does. Because the next move in the market will not wait for you. It will happen with or without you. And when it does, the difference between those who benefit and those who regret is simple. Preparation. Now the choice is yours. Ignore this information, scroll to the next video, and stay where you are. Or take this seriously, start learning, and position yourself before the next wave begins. Because in 2026, the question is no longer whether crypto is dead. The real question is, who is ready for what comes next? Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and does not provide financial advice. Crypto investments involve risk, and you should do your own research before investing any money.